And that's a great
respect
point.
it.
I respect that too. That's a great point. However, those decisions may have cost him a Super Bowl already.
It's true.
The decisions at the quarter, because you can't miss on quarterback. And so far, as much as we love Shanahan and the 54-29 record over the last 5 years and the 8-4 record in the playoffs, the great playoff wins, the great regular season wins, those flaws at missing at Tom Brady, telling Tom Brady no. You told Tom Brady no for Jimmy Garoppolo, which in hindsight, I mean, what decision's worse? Drafting Trey Lance, saying no to Tom Brady, or passing up Mahomes and Watson?
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
As in all of them.
Like all three of them. So those warts right there. If he doesn't win at Shanahan, we're going to look back at those decisions until the day we die.
Well, he will too.
The fact that Tom Brady said, I want to come home and play for you and that football team. Those decisions. So now it's like all our eggs is in the Brock Purdy basket. Because if Brock Purdy doesn't work out, then what's next? You know what I'm saying? So that's why, and I think Brock Purdy has the moxie. He understands the fact that he told Brock Purdy, hey, you're going to sit for Tom Brady. You think Brock Purdy was happy with that?
No, but I also...
And you don't think Brock Purdy, in the back of his mind, now knows that, boy, I have to be on my game. Because who the hell knows who Kyle Shanahan is texting?
But in this market, we praised Bill Walsh for always acquiring the best and having Steve Young to help motivate Joe Montana. And even Joe, as irritated as he was, it elevated him to his two best years back-to-back, right? 89 and 90. Those were statistically two of his best years of all time. And so, like, it can be maddening, and it's part, I think it's in part when you're a genius, okay? And I'm not saying that Kyle's a quote-unquote, but he is a football. He is a football genius, right?
Smart guy.
In the world of football, there's like 5 guys who know the game like he does in the league, right?
Yep.
I do believe there's a part where you're almost over-tinkering, almost like Phil Mickelson, and he does this with his equipment, where he's so smart, it's almost a negative because he's constantly second-guessing himself and constantly overthinking every situation. There's something simplistic about the Dan Campbell, I'm just going to run through you.
Right. I just
it gives you clarity.
It gives you clarity. I just wonder what that market's going to look like for Brock Purdy and what this team could look like. But as we go into the season, knowing that Brock Purdy's our quarterback, I feel exceptional. This team did magical things last season with the offensive side of football. They did something that I hadn't seen since the Niners '94. This was by far the best offense I've seen since the last time the Niners won a Super Bowl. Well, it really is.
And I want to see them do it back-to-back years.
I think they will do it back-to-back years. George Kittle has had a run with Brock Purdy. 89 catches, 1,335 yards, 13 touchdowns with Brock Purdy at quarterback. That's 22 games, Shasky. 22 games with Brandon Ayuk. He's got 102 catches and 1,705 yards and 9 touchdowns with Brock Purdy. Debo in 18 games, just over 1,000 yards receiving, over 300 rushing, right? And then you get Christian McCaffrey and what he's done in this offense. This offense is set up so perfectly. And it's like the Warriors in terms of all these puzzle pieces fit. Debo does something different than Ayuk. Kittle does something different than Debo. Christian McCaffrey does something different than anybody in this league. And now you add Logan Thomas. Now we'll see with Jawad Jennings, who has a lot of confidence as a third-down wide receiver. Jawad Jennings quietly has made some big plays for the 49ers over the last 3 years. 2021 NFC Championship game, he had some big plays in that one. So this offense is set up to build off of a very special season where they had 4 players with over 1,000 all-purpose yards and a quarterback who broke a single-season record for most passing yards in a 49ers uniform. I'm expecting this offense to get over 30. To hell with 29. I want 31, 32, 33. This offense is ready to explode on this league. They got everybody back here, Shasky.
Shanahan said to Purdy that he should be flattered, or essentially that they went and flirted with Tom Brady. Would you be flattered if 95.7 The Game flirted with Skip Bayless or Colin Cowherd?
Absolutely not. I would not be flattered.
How would you feel?
I would be jacked up. I will go on that show and have the best show of my life and say, you really want to go that route? You really want to go that route, Matt Nahigan? You want to go that route? Go ahead. Try me.
Do you think Brock Purdy was flattered?
No, I just said that. No, there's no chance because it's not just a one-year deal. What if Brady does win the Super Bowl?
I want to go back-to-back.
I want to go back-to-back at the age of 47, 46 years old. And then Brock Purdy, Not only that, you're messing with his money now.
No doubt.
You're messing with his value now.
No doubt.
And now all of a sudden you're like, well, we just won one with Tom. We have to pay Brock soon. Let's just flip Brock, pay Tom, and go draft the guy and have him learn under Tom.
But the way Kyle said it to Kawakami, it was like he believed it. Like, oh, yeah, well, I told him, like, you should be flattered.
Yeah, no. There's no flattery.
Could you imagine if Jed York was like, hey, if Belichick wants to come here for a year, you're going to be my OC, Kyle. Yeah. and you should be flattered because it is Bill Belichick.
Well, how
would he react in that situation?
Yeah, that would be wild.
Speaking of Belichick.
So speaking of Belichick, we'll get to Belichick in just a second here. But Brock, there's no doubt now in the back of his mind, he knows the head coach that he's playing for. He understands the route he's had to take in the NFL. And he understands that I better play at a high level this year. I cannot have any drop-off because not only is it the money, but Shanahan is known to look elsewhere.
They are like your hit television show, whether it's Sopranos, The Wire, Game of Thrones. Anybody can get whacked at any moment.
No, they can't.
And get upgraded by a bigger crime boss. Am I wrong?
Would it be the right move, though?
What?
With Brock Purdy?
Let's see it play out.
You're hesitant on paying him big-time money, huh?
Well, no, it's not that. To me, paying a quarterback $70 million, you better be 100%.
Let me ask you this. Do you feel like he's the guy here? Do you finally feel like, as a longtime 49er fan, that, damn it, I got my next Steve Young. Damn it, I got my Joe Montana.
That's not how I view it anymore.
You don't view it like that?
Because the way I view it now, because I think it's really difficult, like the way we view it now. Great example. Had Trey Lance, who was traded up for, did the exact same thing as Brock Purdy. And everyone, you got to pay him $300 million. Whoa. Can he take 40? Because if he takes the Daniel Jones, I'm just saying, if he gets the Daniel Jones deal, well, then I can keep Kittle. And then I can keep Debo.
But the reason why I'm asking, like, is he, like, unequivocally, is he the guy?
I'd like to see him play quarterback for 3 or 4 more years, like, on this team, but at the right price point, right? So, for example, if Trevor Lawrence was the Niners quarterback and I had to give him the exact same deal that Jacksonville gave him, no, I wouldn't give him the deal.
Josh Allen, would you give him the deal in Buffalo?
I probably would, because I've seen him do it for about 5 years now.
Okay, but Joe Burrow?
No, because Joe Burrow's always hurt, and I love Joe Burrow. Wow. He's always hurt.
Lamar Jackson. Because my point is this. If you feel like you got the guy, you do what you got to do to secure the guy.
I hear you.
And you build around elsewhere.
I hear you, but I think Baltimore thought they had the guy with Flacco. He
won a Super Bowl there. He won a lot of playoff games for Baltimore.
Seattle thought they had the guy with Russell Wilson.
Flacco was really good for Baltimore.
And then he wasn't.
He was.
Because you didn't have all the other playmakers around him.
But Flacco had a really good career in Baltimore.
The way I view the NFL now more than ever is not for long. And I think that you're constantly reassessing things. I thought Russell Wilson was going to retire a Seahawk and go right into the Hall of Fame.
But Russell, to his credit, he spent damn near a decade in Seattle.
No doubt.
He was there a long time.
No doubt, but
Let's not act like Russell Wilson got dumped after 4 years.
Yep.
They went all in with Russell Wilson. Now, they didn't win a lot of good games.
Did you see him dropping off? He's fighting for a quarterback spot with Justin Fields.
Well, we're crying out loud. When you take that much punishment at the quarterback spot, you don't have an offensive line, and you're running for your life, there's going to be a lot of wear and tear on you. And he's not the biggest guy in the world anyway. So now can he get some protection in Pittsburgh, get some time to throw the damn ball, and get some confident coaching? He set himself back on it in Nathaniel Hackett and in Sean Payton, no doubt about that. But is Brock Purdy for the next 3 years, do you feel good about saying
if it was a 3-year deal, so for example, 3-year deal, and I had to guarantee him $120 million, yeah, I'd do that.
Okay.
I would do that. I'd give him the same guarantees because Daniel Jones got $40 million. Yeah. No doubt about it in my mind. If I could keep that number under 50, I'm in.
But you're not going to keep that number under 50.
Well, you never know.
Not with this type of production. This is elite production.
Maybe Purdy realizes, but maybe Purdy realizes that, like, if I take a little off top, I can keep that weapon. I can keep this guy over here and still make godly money.
Brock Purdy may not think like that.
No, he may not.
He may think like that. I think Brock Purdy's I like Brock Purdy. He's easy to root for. Very easy to root for.
Well, I'll tell you.
But what if Brock Purdy thinks like this? He goes, no. Give me my 50 to 55. I will elevate these players around.
He could definitely
I'm that good to elevate an offense.
The majority of athletes think that they're the reason. But here's what I would say. I look at Jalen Brunson taking a little off top, which wasn't really that much off top, and he's a conquering hero in New York. Jalen Brunson knows that if I win a championship with the New York Knicks, I become a hero because I took less to be the guy. And I'm saying if Brock Purdy takes less, he'll be even more of a conquering hero.
Jalen Brunson knows that he could get that money back in the next couple of years.
So could Brock Purdy. He's was the quarterback of the Niners.
Maybe he can't get that money back.
It's the same thing I say about Dak. I'll say Dak. I'll tell Dak this. Dak, had you taken $10 million per year less, how has your life changed? Like, honestly, $10 million a year less, and you had another playmaker.
But the business, see, that's fandom talking. And TJ Houshmandzadeh touched on this yesterday with Willard Dibbs. I thought it was very interesting. We could get to that on the other side. But it's fandom talking. The businessman in you doesn't believe that. That's the fan in you that believes that, Shasky.
But if you win championships, you print money for life. The difference between Peyton Manning taking every dollar and Tom Brady leaving a little off top is literally 5 championships.
There's a lot of players who say, give me the bag over the championship because of X, Y, and Z happening in the organization. That's the fandom talking. The fandom and all of us want all these players to take pay cuts and build elite rosters and be team players. But this is a business.
Let's
not get it twisted. This is a business. And I'm not saying that, hey, Ayuk's not walking around here as a broke boy. He got $14 million coming off of being a first-round pick. There's no doubt about that. But it is still a business. The businessman in Joe Shasky understands where Ayuk is coming from.
But I was going like this.
The fan in you wants these guys to take pay cuts. When it's like, that's not how it works.
No, if you're making $100,000 a year, $1,000 on your paycheck over the course of the year isn't really that big of a difference, okay? It's really not. And when you're looking at, let's say, a $100 million contract, $2 million, $3 million is let's just say, I don't know what the separator is. It's not changing your life that dramatically.
Yeah, but that's not how they think.
I understand that. I understand that.
This is a business, man. This is a business, and they got to get every single dime because these owners are getting every single dime, and they're getting billions and billions and billions of dollars off the back of me performing on Sundays.
Yeah, but there's
the reason why you're selling all these jerseys.
But there's a CBA for that. No, that's how we split the money.
We hear all that, but that's not how it works, man. That's not how it works today. You know that. The fandom in you is talking, but the businessman knows what time it is.
I started this segment by going and being almost like a socialist, grabbing all the food and bringing it to the whole crew while I struggled to eat. I know about trying to, take a little off top so that others can fill their bellies.
You didn't even ask her to breakfast. That's your plate. You're lying to the audience. You got that food for you. I've seen you crush plates like that, Shasky, in 2.5 seconds. It's the reason why you're working out every damn day. Trying to keep it off.
I'm trying to get that tricep looking good.
Got a lot of work to do.
What is going on here?
Love his traps look good. All right, let's get to the injury report.